Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, sir. So on this session, I would like to give my understanding about interrogating perspective for learning and teaching in L2. So, in this topic, uh, this approach is to try that to combine the three main perspective in SLA. The first is linguistic perspective, what uh, we know as what is learned, and the second is psychological perspective. We know as how is an LCU acquire, and third is social perspective, known as why does success differ. So firstly, I will explain about linguistic perspective. Uh, Actually, and the subtopic in linguistic perspective is second language for L2 knowledge. L2 learners develop a system of knowledge that includes vocabulary, morphology, phonology, syntax, and discourse. This knowledge goes beyond what is the tough and has developed with the first language L1, but it's not identical to the native language. For example, like learners can master complex grammar even though it has never been taught explicitly. Next is pragmatic and communicative competence. In addition to grammar, the learners must also understand the social and cultural context in order to use language appropriately. For example, like formal and informal ways of interacting. Uh, we know like the use of uh, Anda versus kamu in Indonesian. So, and second is psychological perspective. We know as how is and how to acquire. So, for innate capacity, the learners have innate capacity to learn language, which allows them to process input and create new language systems. And also for social interaction accelerates learning through feedback, correction, and negotiation of meaning. For example, in conversation, the learners receive the natural correction when their conversation partners correct their mistakes. And also restructuring and automatization. L2 learners proceeds through stages of progressive restructuring of the language system. Automatic occurs through practice and repeat the exposure. For example, like the initially learners may think hard about grammar, but with practice, usage becomes automatic. So the next is for the third social perspective. We know as why the success differ. Uh, for social factors that success depends on the social context, such as L1 and L2 status, relationships between L1 and L2 communities, and social experience. For example, learners who live in a native speaking environment are more likely to success because of the constant exposure. Motivation both integrative. We know wanting to integrate into the community and instrumental for for a job plays a major role in successful learning. For example, like the background why he being a learner, and yeah, from their background. Next is age and aptitude. Children may be better at pronunciation, but adults are better at understanding complex structure because of stronger cognitive analysis. And the importance of multidisciplinary perspective, the balance between the what, how, and why, an integrative approach combines the strengths of linguistic what is learned, psychological how is learned, and social why learning works or doesn't work. The perspectives, complexity of the SLA process. This approach recognize that language learning involves an interaction between factors such as ability, social interaction, and also the learning context. And the last, in the implication of for teaching and learning, goals and priorities, instruction should be tailored to the learner's goals, whether it is communication fluency, academic comprehension, or something else. Flexible approach. There is no best teaching method for a learner. A combination of method to that appropriate to the context is more effective. Recognition of incremental achievement. Language learning is a gradual process requiring patience from both the teacher and the learner. So that's all can I explain about uh interrogating perspective for learning and teaching in Althusser. Thank you.